Welcome everybody to Martha Sons. This is the show of shows. Of course, we got the whole crew again here tonight. We got Big A rolling.
Hey, baby.
We got Z. I love Z's shirt, man. This is one of the most fire shirts that I've seen in a long time. You gotta stand up a little bit, man, so we can see.
Oh, let's see it. Let's see it.
Let's see that. Take a look at that. It's like the periodic table. The
Oh,
grind,
okay.
like atomic element or atomic numbers, like 24, atomic weight, the 365. That is
All right. All right. That's fire. That's fire.
that is mad dope. This is mad dope. So we'll go ahead and we'll just get right into it. So in light of I almost said David Stern, out of Adam Silver actually having that meeting this week with the NBA players and a bunch of professionals and things like that, trying to possibly get the NBA to come back this season. I started thinking like, man, I need my basketball fix. There are games going on. Can't be playing
We all
NBA
need it,
games.
brother. We all need it.
So I figured I would give us a homework assignment to come up with our dream team. So it's not a list of the best players of all time. We were tasked with walking away being GMs, picking out the best players in history, or trying to formulate the best team. So think about the 1991 or 92 Dream Team, only with everybody in history. You had to put at least 10 people on your squad, at least 10 people because somebody had to go above and beyond, like, the overachiever that he is. Freaking Beardzilla.
Hey, man, I gotta get my people up there, man. Come on, man.
He's got, I can't believe your team wasn't all Boston. That
That's
was,
what that we just like. That's amazing.
No,
You're
no.
real.
I
You're real.
no. Have common sense. Go with what's given to you. You know what I mean?
so,
So
so,
You got one. You got one. That's all you got. One.
yeah, yeah.
that's all I need.
He's got two.
One.
I thought he had
That's all I need.
Anyway.
Mm.
Anyway,
Yeah,
we did,
true.
we did have some
Oh, yeah,
ground
yes.
rules. We did have some ground rules going in. It was, again, we had to try to construct a team, not just put a list of the best players, because you see how that works in the All-Star game. No, you needed to construct a team, and it had to be competitive in any era. So it had to be competitive in today's wide open 3-point juggernaut type game, or the same game back in the 90s where it was like stall ball. Everybody was just kind of grinding to get points, and people like Shaq were
That's
dominating.
why I put people off this list. I see her on the list. I'm like, you can't exist back then. I'm like, oh, I had to do people that no timeless. You can't.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, like people from 70s, 80s, and 90s with today's basketball, they be averaging 10 more points a game than what they were normally averaging. No hand check. You
Yeah.
gotta just baby them to the layup line, or here's the 3-point line. Take 15 3-pointers. Come on, man.
Or
I,
but,
I, yeah.
but also
I
think
think
about
it's not-
like
that's
people
not what
like
it
Bob Cousy in today's game, where he could actually turn his hand over when he's dribbling and didn't have to like take a step every bounce.
The creativity you would have,
Well,
the
yeah.
creativity you would have, he could do it like that. He was creative as hell already, and then he could like loosen the rules a little bit, let him do whatever the hell he wants. He watches and1 mixtapes, and then it's like it's already popped. And then he watched and1, and now he's just
What do
like,
you think he's gonna have like carry handles up there? Like
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
he probably would. You see him? You seen him?
Oh man, kind of a funny story. Before we get into the list, so remember my friend Luke. Sadly he passed away last year from an overdose. But
Yeah.
we used to play basketball all the time, and the dude had the worst handles. He played like he had the best handles, but he had the worst handles. Come to find out, what he would do Tom Brady. He was Tom Brady before Tom Brady. He would deflate the ball a little bit so he would get more favorable rolls. But because it didn't have the bounce, he couldn't control the hell out of it.
What the? Did you? Well, you didn't notice while you had the ball?
Well, I was a big man, dude. I played center. I didn't put the ball on the ground. My back was to the basket, and I did hook shots over people.
Is
That was
this
the way
is
I
it high school? This regulation game or just
No, man, this is like street ball.
God. Wow.
He can never make it because he never could play basketball
dirty.
for like a team. One,
That's dirty as hell.
yeah, he was He was like,
Rest
oh,
in peace. Rest in peace.
yeah, yeah. He knows he was a knucklehead. Anyway, yeah.
Definitely rest in peace. But yeah, I mean, you gotta, you gotta be deflating it. And hey, don't put Tom Brady's name up there like that, man. Come on
Hey,
now.
come on, man.
What the hell?
Dude's got deflated balls. What can I say?
Yeah, you gotta deflate the ball, but you know what? I'll never forget that game, man. Second half, Indianapolis, what'd you do? Not a goddamn thing. Brady was airing them out still in the second half. So you know what? It's like all the hate that continues is like keep it percolating, baby. Keep it
Yeah,
percolating.
but it's not like they're invited. Anyway, man, we're getting off the rails. Let's get into the debate. So which one of us wants to debut their team first?
Okay, I guess I'll go first.
Oh man, so we're gonna have to roll up with Big A Squad.
The squad.
All right, man. So Big A super team. So for his starters, he's got Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant, Tim Duncan, Keem Olajuwon, and then his bench, his very full bench, considering an NBA roster only fields 12 people at a time.
Yeah, but you always have three. You always have three reserves, so technically it's 15.
Yeah,
but
okay,
yeah, on the bench,
okay. I'll give you that. Big O, Oscar Robertson, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, that's such a name. Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry, the human highlight reel, Dominique Wilkins, Larry Bird, Kevin Garnett, and Billy Russell. Man,
That's a strong team.
it is
But,
very, very strong team.
You know, I'm a
Ain't nobody
discount
beat me.
out of this conversation. The last five do not matter because me and you got 10. So fuck
Okay,
it.
I'm not worried about the last five. You know what I mean?
Listen, the only thing I would say, my biggest problem with this out the gate is Giannis. That's my biggest problem.
Yeah,
Why?
Giannis
He
is
can play both eras.
He can
New.
play.
Really go both eras.
That's too new for me. That's too new for me. I'm looking at this list. I'm like, you got no titles. You got an MVP and a piece of a half MVP this year. I'm looking at that list. And I'm like, why? Why?
Why not, dude? You got a 7 foot guy who can bang down low with the bigs in most eras.
You got
And
Garnett right across from him.
what's that?
You got three Celtics on this team. You got three Celtics on this team.
That's true. That's true. Forgot about Kevin
Yeah, I
Garnett.
was thinking. Oh, that's right. You got three Celtics on this team.
Is he officially a Celtic because he won the title with them?
I think he'll retire. So to tell you the truth, even though I don't think he should. But
He hates Minnesota, though. He hates the ownership of Minnesota. He's going to retire a Celtic.
Yeah. Yeah, which is crazy because it's like he had all his MVP years with Wally Zerbiak and Latrell
Why was
Sprewell.
that early?
Yeah.
Wally Zerbiak was pretty good.
I mean,
What's the name? Stephon Marbury was good early.
Yeah.
Stephon was true. He had teams around him. He couldn't get us the West. That's all it was.
yeah. So
Well, because everyone's trying to live out west, man.
He said, he had an interview and he said it was because the ownership didn't spend the money. He said that shit. That's why he has a problem with him. And he said he tried to leave, they didn't let him leave, and let him finally got a deal done too late near the end of his career. So he only make that two runs, and that was it. Then LeBron ended him on national television. The dunk of the century.
let me tell you, KG was Giannis before Giannis, but I can see Giannis. I actually was,
I don't know. KG's a singularity. Giannis is not, no.
Now we're talking about all these players at their primes. KG at his prime was a dominant player, and he has won the league MVP.
yeah.
I'll say this. The thing about Giannis also is too young, and I hope he never see his prime. So until we see that, I think he'd be on any fucking list. I was just like, that's the one that shocked me when I saw that.
Dude, okay, how old is Giannis? Giannis is 24?
Yeah, he is prime.
No. He hasn't grown to his man.
No, we don't know.
28?
He might
28, 29, 30? Oh, man.
He might not win shit. And he might not win do nothing. And he might not.
Uh,
He might be topped out. This might be it.
Before
nah,
we get
I
too,
think we're more than LeBron will.
all right, so before we get too far into this debauchery, Aaron, let's give you a chance to actually explain how you constructed this roster.
Well,
What you
basically,
thinking?
you want to look for what I want to look for was who's going to be able to control the clock, control time, be able to pick apart a team with a big front line, a front line that can match up pretty much in any era. You know, Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon. That's like they're old school. They're mainly on the blocks.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Their game has a lot of range, regardless. You know, ain't no one sticking with Hakeem Olajuwon. Too fast and dumb defensive player. Tim Duncan. I mean, enough said. Dude's the big fundamental. He ain't losing to nobody. KD now. To me, he was the most interesting one on this list for me because you got another 7-footer, long arms, who can drill threes like nobody's business, can take it off the dribble, and can post up. So, and he plays solid defense. So it's like I think he transcends. He would transcend most errors. You know, the only thing that would kind of like maybe kind of suspect on him is his mental capacity for taking Jordan's trash talk or anyone's trash talk back in the 80s and 90s because people were playing, man. It's like we weren't trying to be buddy-buddy. We were trying to destroy you. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to be a friend. You know what I mean? It's like I wasn't trying to be like LeBron and be like, hey, buddy, let's hang out. The hell with that. I want to kill you.
I don't think that's off the court. I don't think KD's not like that on the court. That he is the most dangerous player in the NBA. Period. There is no most dangerous player in the NBA. I love LeBron, but he is the most dangerous player in the NBA. He changes the tide. If he goes to your team, that shit he did with them in Golden State, that bullshit. That was I described it as a 73 win team. They broke the record, and then you fucking give them a fucking nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
Everyone playing with fucking sticks. That was like the most ridiculous. I was like, I watched it. It was horrible.
I thought it was pretty weak too, man. That was a weak move.
It was a weak move. I hate the move. But I respect the player, and he is the most dangerous player in the NBA. There is no fucking way around that. If he's on your team, you have a chance to contend. There's not like that pick. I fucked up my list. I was like, dude, I was like, oh. Oh shit.
I don't know. Like
oh shit. That's a transcendent, timeless player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Another interview I saw an interview on Up. You guys watching Up in All the Smoke? All the Smoke podcast?
No.
Get the All the Smoke podcast. Everybody's on it. Everybody's on Steven Jackson and fucking who the fuck's the light skinned dude out? They got a podcast and they get everybody. No, he's a like.
Oh yeah, okay. I did hear about this because didn't Steven Jackson say something about a baby mom or something like that?
Dopest shit ever. It's the best podcast except for this one in the world.
Oh yeah, definitely except for this one.
Dude, no, that's the shit. They get everybody goes on there, all the players, NBA, football, whatever, they go on there and they talk to their fucking boys. They go casino with those cryptos. They talk shit. Hilarious. But then I forgot what I was saying. That shit is fucking good though.
Yeah.
He was on there and he was just told the truth about the whole fucking situation, and Draymond was on there and they talking about the whole fucking situation. They let their hair down and keep the facts up. But he's fucking badass, dude. I hate him for the move. Go to a team that beat you just so you get the monkey off your back. Like I'm kind of glad he did it because now a little pressure's off. My boy.
Oh, LeBron?
No, everyone's like, LeBron, I hate that, but that motherfucker over there, he done joined a team that beat him.
I don't think it was any.
They had 3-1. They had 3-1.
I mean, considering they were already assembled. Everybody there was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Now LeBron, gathering that team and going to South Beach like that. I'm gonna go with my boy D Wade. I'm gonna bring, this perennial all-star with Chris Bosh. It's like, are you serious, man? So you're like you legitimately created a super team when you guys are in your primes. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, but okay. So how do you say that's dope and not say what KD did was okay.
No, it's not the fact that he went there. It's the fact that he went to a team to beat him when they were up 3-1. You joined the team that beat your brothers. They beat your brothers the previous season, and you left them and went to fucking the team that beat you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, that's the earliest shit I ever. I call him.
Now, seeing the whole narrative like that, the whole exposition of it, that definitely brings things clearer.
That's not what people do. You know what I mean? Nobody does that shit. Like, you don't play for the fucking. They beat you and your boys, and if you had them, so it made you look more cowardly. Like, my point was like, oh, they don't come back next year. They don't give him next year. Fuck Golden State, they don't give him next year. He fucking leaves and goes to Golden State.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, that was awesome. So, we got a couple new viewers in here. So just to catch everybody up, what we're doing right now is the sons of Martha have all been tasked with putting together their own super team with all the players in NBA history, with the idea of putting together the best roster that can compete in any era. And right now, we are talking about Big A's super team. My boy Aaron, and just pulling that up for you guys to take a look at again. This is a solid team. It really is. But I do have a couple of sticking points that I'm kind of questioning a little bit. Like Dominic Wilkins, like he is an amazing player. I don't know if I would put him. I mean, I could see him being on the back half of your roster.
He was one of the 3 reserves. It's like, okay, KD gets hurt, let's call him Meek. You know, he'll come in and, you know, dunk on people all day. I'll take it. But yeah, he was one of the reserves for me, you know. And so was people are gonna hate me for this, but I don't care. It was Wilkins, Curry, and Bill Russell were my reserves.
Yeah, Bill Russell's a tough one because I don't know how we fare in this. Like
defensive mastermind that will shut literally like any big down or anyone trying to rebound. He's gonna get it.
He's a smart player.
Yeah,
he's like Dennis Rodman with an IQ of like 1 million.
Yeah,
exactly.
He was. I mean, he definitely is a more talented version of Draymond Green. He's bigger, stronger.
Oh
yeah, he's like, no, Draymond. I don't know. He's Draymond's on his level.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's just he's definitely a good guy. Other question on here is like you would put
the leadership alone.
Oscar Robertson over Steph Curry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. They're both transcendent players. You know what I mean? You have someone who literally came in and was dominating the league, and then what season averaged a triple double. I don't believe you're trying to pad stats. The dude is just nice, man. You know what I mean? And the whole history of the NBA, and now you had Westbrook do it. What, 2 years in a row?
Yeah,
or 3 years in a row?
I think 3 years in a row.
Like,
yeah, which is phenomenal. But you can tell he's padding stats.
Oh yeah, he's a stat chaser.
You know what I mean? It's like you're not doing it because it's the best interest of the team. It's the best interest of Russell Westbrook. But then again, that being said, with those numbers, 10 assists, 10 rebounds, how are you not helping your team? You know, and so it's kind of a paradox in itself.
Yeah.
Well, Steph on this list at all. I don't think he transcends generations at all.
Who?
I do. I think Steph Curry.
Who, Steph? I don't know.
He's a part of this basketball. That's all. There's no fucking.
I don't know, man. I mean, like I have to see it for myself, but
he is not Isaiah. He cannot go back there. Isaiah can sit back there and shoot threes all day. I'll pick him. Now, come on. He can't do that shit. He ain't going down the middle dunking on people.
Well, no, I mean he doesn't have to, but dudes can score nice.
Those small, big, strong point guards in the look.
Yeah, I know. Like the Ron Hoppers, the Derek Hoppers. You know what I mean? Back you down. You know what I mean? It's like no, he would have a very tough time against the guards from the 90s and the 80s for sure.
So
he'd be like, this. Okay, count somewhere. Yeah, you can't be nobody.
I don't know. So I look at it this way: if I look at someone like Steve Kerr, who was he wasn't starter caliber for a lot of teams, but he definitely had a role. Steph Curry's faster than him. He's more athletic. Has a better shot than Steve Kerr. If you
But
can
he's a
shoot,
pussy. He can't take no fucking contact.
yeah, but
and he
if you
can't play
can
defense.
shoot,
If you
you're
went
going to be
5-on-5
good in any era.
if you went 5-on-5 with two comparable teams, which he has never done, he would fucking be destroyed by whoever he was guarding. This is what we're doing right now. You got 5 of the 5 best on best. He has never played 5-on-5. He's always played 5-on-3, 5-on-4. This is 5-on-5. Okay, Magic. Curry got you right now. Like, what? Get out of here.
That-
Isaiah, Curry's on you. Bye. Wham! Get the fuck out of here. No, he can't do shit. He can't do shit in this, except be Steve Kerr. Come off the bench here. It's wide open. And then
I
what?
don't know. I think I do
Wide
think
open again.
somebody that has that kind of range is going to change the geometry of your offense. Defensively, I will
think-
give you that. Defensively, he is a liability, but it's overcomable. And there's a reason why I'm defending him, but we'll get to that in a second. So I think Aaron, you have a great team, but man, we're gonna bounce it over to Z Super Team right now.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Um,
Fine, man. Where the fuck's my team at?
Yeah, we're popping it up on the screen right now for the people at home. So just a quick rundown. His starters: point guard Isaiah Thomas, shooting guard Ray Allen,
No.
small forward Magic Johnson, power forward LeBron James, center Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His bench is Gary Payton, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, and Bill Russell.
That is like, what is going on with that? That's driving me nuts, dude.
That's just
How are you
somewhat.
gonna have
That
the
is just
greatest
somewhat
of
being
all time
controversial
right
to be
behind-
controversial.
For Ray Allen? Come on,
What?
dog.
You got
You're
any
tripping. Ray Allen is great, absolutely.
Yeah,
He is not Jordan's dog.
Okay. Before we start digging into him, Z, explain your squad.
Listen, Isaiah Thomas, my favorite point guard of all time.
Okay, respectable.
Ensemble, does it all, distributes, scores, dunks on you, locks you down, steals, everything. All you need. Ray, my 2 guard. This is for me. I got the guy. He can score anywhere. He's got mid range. He's got 3, and he's got defense. He's got it all.
I can't do it, man. I
Come on,
can't. You said that with a straight face. That's the
Listen,
crazy
we'll get to
part.
because I already talked to this Jim earlier.
Oh my God, you said that with a straight face. That is
Got
insane.
Magic.
So,
got Magic. Magic's gonna do it all. Magic's gonna do it all. Magic's gonna do it all. No position.
But you got 2 floor generals. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right. So
Some
real
can never be
quick,
two. There's only
Chad
one.
is asking about. So first of all, Jordan wasn't worried about the glove. Yes, he was, because when they put the glove on him, he dropped his shooting percentage down to like 40% in the finals. They just only did it for 2 games. But Jordan, yeah, he wasn't worried about the glove. But for those who just tuned in again, because we're getting some comments over here, this isn't a list of the best players of all time. This is, we're trying to construct the best team and put the best pieces together. So Gary Payton definitely has a good place in here. I wasn't even thinking of Gary Payton. He's
The goal was dope, man. He
Yeah.
was dominant for many years.
It was a shit.
And he would
That was
dominate
my
today.
second favorite.
Defense
my second-
will clamp down.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Clowns.
So
He's my second favorite point guard too.
my boy Jeff just put out on chat here: Michael, Magic, LeBron, Duncan, Shaq. That's the starting 5.
Hold on, say it again. One more time.
Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan,
Mhm.
LeBron James.
This is
Tim
the problem with
Duncan.
Shaq. This is the problem with Shaq, though. If we're gonna say transcends ages.
Yeah.
That's
He
true.
can't play
Yeah.
today. He cannot play today. The same thing with Steph. Steph can't play then. He can't play now. What the fuck?
Okay,
is he gonna
of course he can. Who's gonna stop
do? What's he
him?
gonna do?
Who's gonna stop? What he's gonna do? He's gonna be averaging 50 a game, man.
The scoring is where in the middle of the outside 3. He can't defend the 3. Ain't chasing nobody out there.
Look,
They have
if
no.
no guard in the middle, give him the middle all day, man. He'll be averaging
I
like
mean,
45 points
so-
a game.
There is no one like him in the league. There's no one like. There's no one. No, he can't play today.
I will say this: like, if we're
I disagree.
gonna make that argument, I mean, we should be able to make that argument for like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bill Russell.
No, you can't make that Bill Russell. The body type. What they did. They didn't just sit in the middle of the thing. They ran up and down the court. Man, the Lakers, are you kidding me? Showtime? The Giants that ran up and down the court.
But
This
this
is
is still a
today's game.
person.
They're going to run up and down the
These
court.
are still
They're
people
going to run up and down.
like with
All right,
Bill
I'll
Russell.
take Shaq early Orlando years. The 2 years in a row.
The
he was in the finals.
dude, though, so the young Shaq you'll take, but not young Shaq in his prime. But that's my point, though.
yeah.
No, Shaq
Shaq
in year 3, year 4, because he could run pretty good up and down the court.
I'll tell you what. I watched the videos the other day in Orlando, and he put on some weight the second year. The second
When he
year.
got signed to LA,
I was like, are you
was
fucking kidding me? The rookie year was the best. The second year I went, this dude got a spare tire already. He's like fucking 21 years old.
I was a spare tire. That dude was diesel as hell, man.
Dude,
You know,
was
it
cool,
wasn't
man,
until-
but dude,
it wasn't
was
until
definitely
he
not
said-
worth it. He was
What did Kobe
definitely
say
not
about
worth
his
it.
ass? What did Kobe say about his ass?
Right. He said if he would have worked harder, he would have won like
Bigger and bigger. He got bigger and bigger.
I will say this about Shaq. Shaq is probably the most dominant person I've seen maybe since Wilt.
I've never
Right.
seen Will. Shaq's the most dominant big man I've ever seen. I've
Yeah,
never seen
yeah,
his
that
left
I've
side.
actually seen, but like from
I
statistics,
saw him in Cleveland. Had the best alley dunk from Kobe ever seen in my life.
yeah,
I seen that shit.
he was a
Woo!
tank.
He's like his hand was almost at the top of the backboard. He brought that shit down, and the whole stage went woo.
So this
We
era,
saw him go up. We all jumped up. It was
This
the dopest
era-
shit I've ever seen.
we talk
trying to
about
clown
this
Shaq
era
like
as
that.
it's
You can't
strictly
play
like
it
a
either.
3-point shooting era, and it is, but it's actually the analytics are saying there's two types of shots. There's layups, and there's 3-pointers. Those are the only shots you should take. With Shaq, you could build a heliocentric offense around him in today's game. If you get 4 shooters and just have him get in the posters, nobody. Like I don't even know if Joel Embiid could.
No
Like,
one's
he's
gonna be able to
get
stop him.
buckets. If he,
Nobody.
but the only thing that gives me pause is he can't shoot a free throw through the life of him. If he could shoot
No,
free,
I had this conversation with my buddy the other day about Tim Duncan, and he was sitting there. He goes, because he was like a swimmer, right, in the Virgin Islands, whatever. That was his first sport, whatever. He goes, if he stuck to it, he would be the best swimmer in the history of ever. I said, why? Well, he's 6'11". You know, he's like 7 foot, with big hands, big feet. I said, why aren't there more 6'11" swimmers? And he's like, well, I said, why can you make that argument then?
yeah.
Yeah,
Swimmers ain't 6'11", they ain't got big ass hands and feet. Shit.
that's
They're
true.
tall, they're skinny, but they ain't
Yeah.
6'11". You want me to know that? You know what I mean? Why aren't they like that?
That's why.
I think Michael Phelps is like mid 6'6". He's like what 6'4", 6'5", I'm thinking.
There's,
He looks like a pretty tall
Something
dude.
like that.
there's a
They
reason
ain't
why you don't
6'11".
see like you
They
know
ain't 7 foot tall.
6
He
foot
kept doing
5
the
running
math.
backs.
He's
You know, some
longer
body
or
types just
so.
don't work.
Yeah,
Man,
true.
get it back to your team, man. I mean, your starters are
Oh,
your
yeah.
bench is pretty deep too. Like
Oh, yeah.
but your bench,
Well,
man,
of
I
course
look
his
at your
bench
bench
is deep.
and I'm like,
He got the greatest
your
of all
bench
time
is
on his
better
bench.
than your starters, man. You got Jordan,
it is not.
Bird, and Peyton.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I want to see these. Oh yeah, let me see his bench.
Barkley,
I'm
his
kinda,
bench is Gary Payton, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, and Bill Russell. Do you know he's got more rings on his bench than he does in his starters?
Yeah.
I'm trying to construct a
Yeah.
perfect team.
yeah, that's true.
And Jeff, he hates the Celtics. He does not like the Celtics at all. Aaron, raise your hand, Aaron. Raise your hand.
I don't
Boston native.
hate
He is all about it.
I don't hate the players. I don't hate the players. I hate the fans. I don't hate the players. I hate the fans.
Hate the fans. Hate the fans because they're intelligent.
I don't hate the players. I hate the fans.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, like I understand his point of putting Ray Allen in there. I mean, I wouldn't consider at all Ray
Ray
Allen
Allen,
an all-time
I got
great.
one pure shooter. You got Larry's the pure shooter on this team, but his career was shortened. Bad back. I honestly question whether or not. I'm sorry, Jim. He had led enough to play in modern NBA. I think it got.
Word? He could do it. He could definitely do it.
I see.
Why are you apologizing?
I'm
to
like,
me?
all
I'm
right.
the white guy here.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, I see it. I'm just like, I see the highlights. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I'm like going, we're almost done with that. And
I think he would definitely compete with today's game for sure. Yeah, but that's what you
next one
too.
we saw. Well, the next one we saw was Dirk. That was about it, and it was like he's 7
Right.
foot. But I don't know. I see them games. I see him those black Converse jump the ground. I'm sitting there like with them short. I'm like, what?
I tell you what, he might actually fare better in today's game than he did.
That's what I'm saying.
Shooter
playing
defense. Sure.
Well, also from a defense, there's more zone, so he's not going to have to match up as much.
I'll give you this. He's a smart player. I just every time I look at him, I'm like, how the hell is he doing this shit? And then I think he's a generation away. He's a generation away from not being able to do it. That generation came and he admitted it. He said, yo, these dudes, he's just a black man's game. He said that shit. He was running fucking Indianapolis when he was a coach there. I mean, I can't see it. But I'm on there out of respect for Larry the Legend. He's my bench. He's my dead-eye shooter. That's all we need you to do, Larry.
Just shoot.
That's it.
Just get buckets.
Shoot.
Okay, now why Charles Barkley and not Karl Malone?
You know
Always Barkley. Always Barkley. You know why Barkley? Because he could take that ball and go coast to coast. That shit always impressed me. I don't give a fuck. I just loved it.
Of course, it's amazing. He was damn good.
He's around on the rebound, man.
That dude's badass. That's my guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
told with he had beef with LeBron, so I put him underneath LeBron. This is a beef list, by the way. This list is about beefs.
Yeah.
Isaiah's my starter, so Mike got the bench.
Oh.
He did the reverse dream team. You were such a fool, dude.
That's cold.
The bench.
That's wrong.
For his boy Ray, the Jordan brand. His boy starting on. His son starting on.
So why's LeBron on your list?
Why is LeBron on my list? Is fucking God. What's wrong with you? My other thing was this though. Was like that's the other thing about
the false
when I started. Yes, when I started with Isaiah, and I wanted Magic on this team, and it's like I gotta put LeBron and shit, and like Jordan wants the ball. Like there's no, he wants it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
He wants the offense.
No,
around him.
Jordan can be very effective without the ball. He knows how to move around screens, catch and shoot.
He's an underrated passer, no doubt about it. He probably made the right play on shit, but Jordan wants the fucking ball.
Oh yeah.
This is too much right here. There was too much. The guys I had to have on this team, there was too much to throw them on this shit because it's gonna be like me.
Yeah,
as much as everybody loves the documentary, we seen that it was all about me.
Yeah.
Like,
can't spell Michael without me.
It wasn't with me, and I'm sitting there like, holy shit.
Can't spell Michael without me, man.
Oh, trust me, when LeBron stuff comes out in 15, 20 years from now,
we'll be all
saying about it again.
More.
Why
didn't I defer more last shots?
Completely different players. Completely different players.
Yeah,
LeBron's gonna hire fourth quarter scoring percentage than Michael right now, by the way.
Who does LeBron?
No,
LeBron. He ain't played it long. He ain't played it long, but
he ain't played it long. He's playing in an area where you score more.
But he's also
playing
in an area you don't have defense, man. That's the point.
Almost guarding
anybody. You know, Jordan was in the 90s winning like 90.
My brother just said in chat that Michael Jordan's also a world-class gambler. LeBron can't touch that, man.
Chewy's always got to throw that shit out there, man.
You remember Michael Jordan playing golf with Bill Murray and Larry Bird in Space Jam?
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about Larry Bird. He's like, Bill Murray asked, why, I can't play basketball, Michael, because I'm white? He goes, well, no, Larry's white. He goes, no, Larry's clear. I love that. Larry's clear.
Hey. It don't matter, man. If you got that dog in you, if you got that fight, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's different kinds of fight. There's
Yeah.
definitely different kinds of fight.
But like Larry, yeah, he had a pit bull in him. You know, Magic the same way.
I love listening to Larry's Bird trash.
Larry's on my team. Larry's on my team. He ain't starting. Larry's on my team.
No, man. I mean, your bench is fire, man. I would.
Yeah.
Bill Russell And I'm gonna talk about Bill Russell though. Bill Russell to me is like I said, he's like Dennis Rodman with a Einstein's brain. He's just fucking. I mean, this how many does he have? He has 9 titles.
Russell?
Oh, my bad.
And he's a player coach. Player
11
coach.
titles. Yeah.
11, yeah. The 11th is player coach, right? Or last 2 are player coach.
I think his last one or
Yeah.
maybe his last 2 are player coach.
We'll have to
I
look
mean,
It's
it
a
up.
weird thing. You know what I
Chat,
mean?
if you
But
could look up how many titles Bill Russell won as player coach, just let us know.
Did you ever see the old footage of Russell in? I think I saw it one time in high school. He fucking went. It was like fucking free throw line to dunk in like 5 steps.
Opposite free throw, right?
Yeah, it's like one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen in my life. And it's in black and white. And you sit there and you're watching it. You're like, no. You watch it again. You're like, what the fuck? He's like, boom. I'm like sitting there like, how the fuck did that happen? Yeah, I don't care. He's got
I'll
like,
be clipping on the
okay,
mic.
knows playing with or whatever. You know, there's black dudes back there playing with him too. But this motherfucker, I never seen that shit. I never seen that shit. Still never seen that shit. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. That's the kind of step. I mean, that's the kind of athlete he was. You know what I mean? You don't win like that without being a transcendental athlete. And he's got to be on my team. But Kareem, though, is the guy who changed the shit. You know, he changed everything. You know what I mean? He changed college. He changed fucking NBA. Changed high school.
and he still has a scoring record. I'm
No,
that's
not
a
that
shock
shit.
thing.
He's
He
got
still
to
has a
be
scoring
on there.
record.
He's got to be on there. I mean, he's got to be on there. And I know he can run because he played with the Lakers. And if you can run, you can play in the era. You got size, you can run, you're good. You know, I like my team. I still like Allen Jordan. The Jordan thing, yes, it's a little personal for me, but he's not a shooter, and he is a great defender in his prime. He definitely is, and you know it was. You got a little beef with Ray Allen too, I believe there.
Yeah.
Sir, he got with a. He left a zero. He left a 0 and got with a hero. That's all.
Left with a 0 down. What are you on, dude?
Still salty. Still salty. Still salty.
No,
Read the tea leaves.
it was more. You know what? It was more personal to me at that point because Ray Allen was my favorite all-time college player. When he played for UConn, I remember him.
Wrong player, Jeff. Bill Russell did not have 10,000 ladies in bed. That was Wilt Chamberlain.
Will, yeah, he didn't win enough though. Will didn't win enough.
No,
You couldn't-
and I'll tell you what, without spoiling
Yeah,
it,
wait.
I will say Wilt Chamberlain is one of our big omissions. He's not on any of our lists.
Which is, that's I was gonna bring that up too. It's funny you said that. I was like,
But
how
we'll
is he
get
not
to
like,
that
who
after we
title?
go through all the lists. Like, we'll take a few minutes at the end to just talk about who, like, none of us put on there. So,
I think he has like
Well,
two
I-
rings, right? 2 rings. That's it.
yeah.
Dude,
Like the
you
most
don't want
dominant-
the Lakers?
I think it's 2. I don't even know if it's fucking 2, but I
I
know
think
this.
it's one, dude. I think it's
Physically, he's like the most dominant. I think he's the most dominant outside of maybe Shaq and him. People say Shaq and Wilt, right? Everyone
Kareem
says
didn't
that
have
shit.
10,000
but-
ladies either. All right, man.
Kareem!
You need to get your
Kareem!
man slut
Hey,
straight.
hey, Kareem was in a movie with Bruce Lee. That's all.
And
That's the other
he was
reason
in the
why
movie
he's on
with
my list.
Leslie Nielsen.
That.
Airplane, man.
Airplane, yeah.
He did some work in Airplane.
OJ had to. What is it?
No, that was Naked Gun.
Naked Gun. Okay, I'm getting confused now.
All right, man. All right, do you want
You
to...
brought up OJ. The podcast is over.
Hanging
And the
up
white Bronco is
now.
pulling up into my driveway. All right, man. Do you want to go through my list right now?
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's go to the absolute best list out of all 3.
Yes.
All right, so my starters, I actually have Steph Curry, point guard, Michael Jordan shooting, LeBron James in his actual position, a small forward, Dirk Nowitzki at power forward, Akeem Olajuwon at center.
Oh, yes.
My bench, Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, and Bill Russell.
Oh, yeah. we're pretty smart, man. It's like we're all right neck and neck with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
And I will
We know our
say this,
stuff.
Z, I give you
can't-
credit, man.
not
I
at all.
actually had Carl Malone in instead of Charles Barkley, and I'm like, oh, Charles, man, how did I forget Chuck? Chuck was a monster.
Chuck was fucking MVP over Jordan.
Yeah,
And people say, oh, because they're tired of giving it to Jordan. No, bad as fuck. And
No,
Charles
Charles
won
won it in 92-93, right? The 92-93 season.
yeah, he,
Yeah, but they said they gave it to him because they didn't want to give it to Jordan anymore.
yeah.
Jordan wasn't retired at that point.
No, that was his last
No.
championship.
No, remember he played
I knew you'd
Phoenix.
like that, Jeff.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're right.
No, I mean, yeah, I was like, man, like Charles Barkley can do everything that Carl Malone can do, except he was more athletic.
Yeah, definitely more athletic. But
Or a little bit. I mean,
No,
like,
but
there was
Charles-
a
he
little
couldn't,
bit.
he couldn't carry. Man, he couldn't carry. He couldn't take the ball. He couldn't coast to coast. He couldn't, handle.
No, but I
Charles had
still,
a handle.
Yeah.
Charles had a handle and being more athletic.
I mean,
Charles was
he
the
was,
And he
primary
was an
scorer.
asshole, man. I mean,
Huh?
he was thick. He
What?
was thick.
having
He was
Larry
spitting on
Bird,
people.
Larry Bird and Charles Barkley coming off the bench, man, you're gonna have so much shit talking.
Oh,
It's
He
gonna,
fights.
it's gonna make Jordan look like a church mouse.
There's gonna be a bunch of fights.
Yeah.
I saw Indianapolis versus the Bulls today. While I was making dinner. The Indianapolis Bulls, 93 or some shit.
Uh-huh.
Reggie Miller and fucking Mike go at it.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
I was like watching. Wow, just blew up.
yeah.
Mike
That's what
fucking-
Gordon like ran up to him like he was by the free throw line.
Mike elbowed him in the neck. He was too close to him. And
Yeah.
the next time they came down, fucking Reggie went up to put a putback. It already went in. He just landed
Yeah,
and
he kind
bumped
of pushed
Jordan.
Jordan a little bit.
No. He landed and drove under. He bumped him. Then he went back up. And
Yeah.
Jordan was talking shit, and then he just charged him. And then Reggie was like, grabbed his face. And then Jordan didn't hold everybody back. And Jordan got one in. Boom, right in the jaw. I was like, damn. The announcers are hilarious. There's the most, it's like 90s fucking announcers.
Like Mark
They're
Albert.
like, I can't believe I'm watching. Guess who got through out of the game?
Reggie Miller.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
The
man.
fans are going crazy. The announcers are like, I don't think they know what they saw. This is ridiculous. What is it? Reggie's sitting there like, black, he got a bruise on his chin. And Mike's just standing there like this. Not what they said. Reggie, you're out of here, Reggie. Mike's just get his shoulder shrug. He's like,
It's messed up, man. Because
So, I would say, going back to this list here, I would say mine probably has the most controversy. Just, I mean, I don't have Michael Jordan on the bench, but I'm sitting there like after listening to you like talk about Steph Curry, and then I put Rick in there. It's like, what's going on with that? Now,
I mean, I feel he's a great player. He's a great player in today's game. I just do not feel it translate. I just really don't. I don't think he's a translatable dude.
oh man,
I keep saying that if you can shoot and you can handle, you're going to be good. Now, physicality, because this is about a team now. If it gets to be too much, I'll just swap him for Magic.
Well, yeah.
But if I'm looking at the way that I constructed my team, I didn't have my point guard as a classic point guard. I'm having LeBron more play the point guard, and Jordan can do a little bit of that as well.
The other,
so you do Jordan James and then who?
So at point or no? I would.
Yeah,
I would
I mean,
still do
just
the same
because you have
lineup. It
Jordan.
would just be like Michael Jordan could be at the, like all these pieces other than like Akeem are pretty interchangeable. Can play any of the other positions. And Akeem, he's like one of the first stretch bigs there were.
he wasn't at the 3-point line. He wasn't at the 3-point line. He was mid range. He wasn't at 3.
Yeah, but
Akeem didn't play on the 3. A stretch big is gonna be on the 3. He never
Yeah.
shot those 3.
well, no, he was shooting threes. He didn't do it very often, but he could.
No, not like that. No,
No, I mean,
I wouldn't.
but he's
His shit was down low. That footwork, that unguardable fucking footwork. Everybody was trying to practice. Everybody was trying to
Triple
practice.
walk, man.
Dream shake, dream shake, dream shake,
Ooh,
dream shake.
I mean, you watch that. I mean, just watch it. It's poetry in motion. It's like, dude,
You know he's training half the league now. You know that, right? Low post play. The players when they have no low post game, they go to Kareem every year to learn low post play.
Yeah.
Like all of them, like 10 a year, just go there and fucking study under them.
Yeah.
How to score down low.
yeah,
Because
was it LeBron went there, Kobe went there to learn the low post shakes.
You know what else has been? I think Akeem's been working with Joel Embiid.
All right, maybe I heard that.
Yeah, I think that. But yeah, I look at it like if this was in the older era, I'd still take my squad. And in today's game, I definitely want to put Dirk on there. Like other than Curry, he's probably the best pure shooter. Him and Larry, except he's 7 foot. And it's just you have a bunch of spacing there to give like Jordan to be able to do whatever he wants. You have enough spacing for LeBron, who is going to be deferential to Jordan. That's just who LeBron is.
Whose kind of basketball you gonna play? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
what's your favorite era? Of
My
all the
favorite era,
eras,
man? Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, I love the 90s. I love the grittiness, but the one thing I really like about today's basketball is I feel like there's more movement. And I like that. I like that ball moving. There's more complexity with defense. Like I like the different switching, different matchup zones and things like that because it feels more like a football type defense to me than like that old like hey man on man defense. Although one of my guys I listen to every once in a while, Bomani Jones, always says zone defense is for cowards.
yeah. Okay.
Oh, Monty Jones.
I like the Magic era, the Lakers Showtime era. I like that's my favorite basketball. I love that. It's got the tough physicality. It's got up and down. It's got one on one. And the funny watching the old back. There's nothing else on, so I'm YouTubing all that. I'm watching these games and watching like even the Bulls games, early '90s games, like. Watching no-name dudes on the team make mid-range shots with consistency. Like, everybody got game. Everybody's not starved, but everybody got game. Everybody also has 4 years of college. Everybody got fucking game.
Makes a huge difference.
There's a motherfuckers. All right, I'm watching, like, who is it? Weddington.
Bill Wellington.
I'm like, I forgot that shit. I forgot Bill. Mike, oh, here, Bill. What? I'm like, wait, you got 5 kids? Yeah, 5 chances this game. He might have 2 chances this game. Guess what he made? 2. You know what I mean? It's like, these dudes were clutch as fuck, man. These guys, they're all clutch.
NBA Live '95.
Oh, that game was awesome.
With like, because I love it. Maybe
that's the
like
one where he's
92.
spinning. There's the one where he dunks, he's on fire, he's spinning.
Yeah.
The spins and dunks. That's it.
No, the NBA Jam. You think of NBA Jam, dude? NBA Jam.
Oh, Jam. Okay, Jam. Yeah.
All right, man. So that's our list in a nutshell, man. But like I said, going through here, there's a few people on here that I expected to see that I didn't see, like Wilt Chamberlain. I mean,
yeah, Wilt. Like, wow. Why did? But you know what though? The main objective was to find players that could work in both eras.
Yeah.
And to me, Wilt Chamberlain, yes, he worked all the way up until about 2001, 2002. Now the game's altering into what it is today, and
I mean, I don't know though, because if we like,
I don't think Wilt's gonna sit there and shoot threes. You know what I mean?
No, but he's gonna get enough layups, and layups are still,
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, I'm not saying.
Yeah, but we're not talking. I mean,
he'd be good.
Team. Okay.
But he's not going to average 55 points a game or 50 points a game when he's doing that one season.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that was his value. His value was being able to score too. But yeah.
And
For me, Bill Russell,
yeah, because
Russell's for me because I think he can transition to the game. I think if they said hit some threes, this is what we're going to do. I'm pretty sure he can fucking do that shit.
Yeah, and even if he couldn't ever develop a 3-point shot, I think Bill Russell would be able to help facilitate others to get 3-point shots. Like Bill Russell in a pick and roll game would be nasty.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I have Dirk and Steph Curry as my starter. Think about what happened with Dirk and Steve Nash when they were in Dallas. Now you
Yeah.
take Steph
Well, that's-
Curry, which is Steve Nash, like, plus like another level.
They're pretty different.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
just
Nash's
from
job,
like,
Nash's job was to facilitate at all times. Nash facilitate ball, give the ball. That's why the pick and roll work. But I don't know. I don't see Steph doing that. Steph's job is to get open and make the shot. It's reversed. Steph is Dirk. Steph is Dirk in that offense.
Mhm.
You know, the
Yeah.
plays are designed to get Dirk the ball.
But Steph is lethal, man. That
Those-
shot is.
So, full disclosure for the
Yeah.
people out
He's
there,
also
Azim is a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, so he might have a little bit of a grudge against Steph Curry.
no. Good. Honestly though, I don't do that. I don't do that. Like I respect KD's game. I
What do you
respect
mean you don't
Steph's
do
game.
that? You put Isaiah Thomason over Michael Jordan.
That's personal.
That's the same
That's
fucking
personal.
thing, man.
He took him off the dream team. They kicked the man off the dream team. He put
Yeah.
the whole dream team up. And then fucking Christian Laettner was on that motherfucker. That's nasty as hell.
And Christian
Yeah.
Leitner, you notice
That's
we
wrong.
didn't
You
have
know
him
what,
on
though?
any
It
of
should
our
have been
receivers.
Shaq on that team. Shaq turned it down. They had like
No,
it
Shaq
was,
didn't turn
you
it
know,
down. They
I thought they turned it down.
no, there's rumors out there that they wanted Christian Leitner because he was white.
What?
Yeah.
They had 4 white guys on the team. What you talking about?
Come on, man.
They had 4 white guys on the team.
That's I might be propagating falsities, but that was just one
I
of the
mean, we
rumors
know
that I
why they
heard.
put him
I
on
hope
there.
so.
It wasn't because he was white. It used to be all college. They went pro.
Yeah,
had
but they
the
only had
greatest
one
player
college
at that
player,
time.
and they chose Christian Leitner over Shaq.
But Christian Laettner was the greatest college basketball player at that time. Shaq was amazing, but Christian Laettner was the face of college basketball. That's why you're on it. That's not
4 years at
he's
Duke.
white.
I bet.
You got to.
But anyway, so getting
I-
back to like some of these omissions, anybody else stand out to you guys?
Omissions. Everybody's on all. I think everyone I can think of
Man.
was listed at some point.
It's like
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like there's so much talent out there.
there's a ton
You know what I
of
mean?
them.
It's like,
I don't want to listen. I want to end this Steph thing right now.
Okay,
This Steph thing
all right. That's
right now.
that's who you preach.
My
Martin.
final thing about Steph is when you build these teams, ain't nobody on any of these fucking teams trying to set picks so he can get open and get these shots off. Ain't a fucking one. Ain't no Draymond on these teams. Ain't nobody on any of these teams gonna do that shit for him. I gotta say that. I have to throw out
yeah, but
there.
they're not gonna do it because they're not.
He's good at what he does, but
He's gotta get out there.
happens for him. It happens for him now because that system is set up for him. His teammates get him those shots, and
Steph.
he ain't 7 foot like Dirk.
Okay.
Dirk can do whatever the fuck he want to do, and he gets those plays like Reggie
Okay.
Miller.
So I will say this: Steph can create his own shots. You remember, like they weren't. He was doing that Splash Brother thing when it was Mark Jackson coaching, and they were not running the same type of offense then. He was
Yeah.
creating his own.
Draymond
shots.
was there.
Yeah,
Draymond
well, yeah,
was there. They're
Draymond
still
was
running
there.
off screens, and they're still just because you know what they were the first ones to just start jacking up the fucking three ball, which I mean
Yeah.
honestly,
Cleveland.
now Houston bastardized it. Now we gotta watch Houston do the same fucking thing. Also, it's like ridiculous. Now everyone else trying to catch up to it. But I mean, yeah.
It's,
Right? The
I mean,
last
that's
time
what
I
you
like,
see before. It's like 120 to 130. It's like, what the hell's going on, man? That's like, I don't know.
That's like.
I mean, I don't want
Spurs.
to like all like the 90s where it's like, I mean, like hardcore defense, but it's like a little hand check. I think you should be able to get away with that.
Yeah.
that's
You
why I
know,
like
play some
that's why I like the
better
80s.
games.
Yeah.
The 80s, that's why I like the 80s because it had all that. It had the scoring, had the skill, and it had defense. It had all this shit.
So as far,
150.
so as far as your point that you made though, going back to like Steph, and nobody on these teams wanted to set a pick and roll. Bill Russell would. I think Barkley would. Elijah one definitely
Barkley
would.
not do that.
And Dirk
Like,
would.
why? None of them dudes.
Yeah.
Dirk. What the hell, Dirk gonna? Dirk ain't never set no pick and roll in his life.
Yeah, that's all he did with Steph Curry.
Big ass mother-
Or with Steve Nash. That's all they ran
Come
was that
on,
pick
man.
and pop.
Yeah.
Dirk.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You don't
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
be big to be setting a screen, man.
That's nasty jumper, man.
I'll
Jordan-
see it.
I've seen Steph Curry set screens in the game, man. He set
He get
screens for
knocked
Kevin
out.
Durant and then rolls out.
He better. He better. KD.
I smell
How you
it,
gonna be
man.
7 foot in
I
the
smell it.
stream? How you gonna be 7 foot in the stream? How you gonna be 7 foot in the stream?
There are
All day. You be like,
there are people who transcend and take whatever art they're doing and take it to the next level. Okay, there are lots of examples of that, and I know you're gonna hate hearing it, man, but that's one of them, dude. I mean, 402 3-pointers. He shattered that record. Okay,
People love him.
the dude, he got crazy handle, and his defense is not bad. You know what I mean? Like, so
I mean,
like,
I will say that
but the
he
only
may struggle a
suspect
little
part
bit
is
more
that
in the 90s, but I still think that he would be able to get his shots.
he's
He's quick, man.
Not against those
he's
point
quick.
guards.
The only thing that I would say would stop him would be the bigger point guards putting him on the block. You know what I mean? Back then, basketball was more like
him. He could not get by those cats, man. Them dudes were like tanks back then. Stephon Marbury, fucking, they're like bodybuilders and shit. Out there.
But so we're not talking about. So one of the things that we have to keep in mind is we're not talking about like a one-on-one matchup here. We're talking about in the context of a team. So even if you body Steph Curry, like on my team or on Aaron's team, you still have Jordan, LeBron James, Dirk. Like you still got all these other things to take care of.
It lends itself to one-on-one matchups all day long. He's gonna be alone by himself with somebody, and I don't think he can beat a top 5 on anybody's list guy. I don't think he can beat him off the dribble. I don't think he can fucking do shit.
He could definitely beat
you shit with Isaiah. He's not beating Isaiah off the fucking dribble. There's no fucking way.
There's not
he beat my point guard.
There's not many people that are beating Isaiah off the dribble, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be able to get a shot. Not going to be able to figure out, especially if they start playing zone and switching, they're going to be able to get him open. And even if you can't, you still got to deal with Jordan, and LeBron James, Dirk, and Hakeem. Or
that's what I'm saying.
The rest of the chumps on Aaron's team.
This is what I said to you before, though. He's always been.
I mean, come on now.
This is what I said though about him. I don't try to make it all about stuff, but I'm making it all about stuff. He has never played straight up in his entire career. He's never played straight up. They've always had the advantage. Their offense has always had the advantage. And when they got KD, they really had the advantage. And then as soon as it was over. Listen, it was over before they got KD when they lost. And it was that. Then people talking about Golden State, talking about we're coming back. You're coming back with the same dude. The only way they come back is if they get Giannis. You hear about that one? They're trying to get Giannis next year.
Are they really trying to
Giannis is too old school, man. He hates everybody. I could see him staying with Milwaukee for the duration.
That's what everybody said. Yeah, that's what everybody says.
But
he gets a couple early exits in the postseason.
Yeah, Steph has never really had the body up against somebody, but it doesn't mean that he can't. It's just the era that he plays.
That's what I'm saying. In this format, what we're talking about 5-on-5 fucking basketball.
Yeah, I think in a 5-on-5 scenario, there's always going to be a role for someone. If you could put Ray Allen in, like Ray Allen isn't that big and that strong.
They're that big. He's 6'5". He's 6'6". Whatever.
He's a frail 6'5".
Yeah, he's
frail. Jesus Shuttlesworth. Now Jesus Shuttlesworth is frail. That's a damn lie.
He is, dude.
Ray Allen highlight.
No, but he's talking about like
all-around basketball player, the great all-around basketball, pure shooter, and plays defense.
I mean, Ray Allen was small.
that was a knock on Jordan is that he was too small.
Exactly, but like the 95, 96 season when they set the record at the time for the most wins. I mean, he's definitely in his man body, and he was bigger. You know what I mean? And so like someone like Ray Allen just naturally small, man. It's
man.
Small.
In chat, we just have my boy Jeff say Bag of Bones is 6'5". What's funny about that is my boy Jeff. If you ever saw him when we were growing up, Bag of Bones was his nickname, man, because he was like 100 pounds. He was like 5'10", 100 pounds with 0% muscle build. Like it was just the dude, man. I could do a whole show on my friend Jeff, man. I love Jeff to death, but this dude was the most dramatic person I've ever met. Like anytime he got injured playing basketball or anything, hide and seek, didn't matter. First thing out of his mouth is, I can't see. Like, Jeff, you sprained your ankle. It has nothing to do with your goddamn eyes. I can't see. I can't
was,
see.
was he playing a basketball game once? Got carried off the court by two people, then brought to a wheelchair.
Pretty much, man.
Carried off the court in a
He was-
wheelchair by
Dude,
somebody.
he got
Some
carried off like
dramatic-
Kellen Winslow, man.
Dramatic motherfucker.
He was
Why are you calling your boy so much?
my boy Jeff. Jeff knows it, man. He's the one that brought it up in chat, the bag of bones. Oh man, dude, funny story because we're about out of time, man. Oh,
Yes,
no,
we are. Jesus Christ.
this one's great.
Alright.
So we're playing softball, right, in
Yeah.
this field behind our house, and this guy comes by that Jeff doesn't like, and so him and Luke, they start making fun of him, and the dude's like saying like, "Oh, you don't have any friends." You know how kids do that kind of stuff. Guy's like, "Oh, I have any friends?" Okay, whatever. So guy walks off and comes back with two dudes, and one dude starts chasing Jeff. Like, because they're getting ready to fight. Jeff is running away, and he's screaming, "Please don't kill me!"
That's right.
Wow.
Oh man, Jeff, I love you, dude.
Don't let him kill you.
Wow.
Jeff,
Wow.
but Jeff got swole,
He's
man.
alive.
He's got some thickness now. He would be able to body those dudes now, but yeah, back in the day, woo, he was funny, man.
Hey,
We'll have a Jeff Audette special one of these days.
That's kind of ill. We gotta have a special about him.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll even add him to the Zoom call so he can defend himself. Because I sure he'll tell you a whole bunch of stuff about me.
Oh,
Get my
jeez.
fat
Oh,
ass. Anyway,
I
man. So,
gotta put this boy to bed. It's
yeah,
like 9.
we are about out of time anyway. So chat, thank you for listening. If you get a chance to ping me with what you think, who of all of our squads, who's you think is best, and depending on the votes.
Ooh, we should do a vote. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me know.
I'm gonna lose that vote. I'm gonna put MJ on the bench during a
Yeah, you
10
did.
episode fuck fest of
Okay, why don't you guys alter it? Why don't you guys put 5 more players like I do? Or should I get rid of my 5?
Get rid of your 5.
It don't matter. Just look at the squad, watch the video, look at the squad in the chat.
But it's gonna be
comment,
lopsided, man. My squad is so diesel.
Vote
I don't want to make you guys
which one you think is the best,
You know what I
and
mean? It's like,
we'll have some bragging rights. So,
It's just top 5. Damn, top 5 and backups.
all right, man.
You can't have
Z,
5 extra
go put your
backups.
kid to bed.
All right, y'all. Thank you. Good
All
night.
right, thank you, man.
mm,
You out there?
yeah, I'm out too,
All right,
brother.
man. Good looking out, guys. I will catch you again next week. Again, put in the comments on what you think for the best team was, and we'll make fun of each other some more next week. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.
See you guys.